So this is Amanaya. Say hi, Amanaya.
Hi.
How old are you?
I am 12.
12. And what grade are you in?
I am in 6th and 7th.
Okay, so what in the world does that mean?
Well, because I'm homeschooled,
Okay.
I am ahead of some of the stuff I am doing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So before we turned the camera on, we were just reflecting on the last interview with Libby. And Libby is in public school, but Amanaya is homeschooled. And some of the answers and the filter that Libby was communicating through can actually do in her situation, come from some pain and some bad memories of the way kids treat you in school. And we know bullying is a big issue. I was bullied heavily. And so now we're going to interview Amanaya, who has been homeschooled for how long?
Since 3rd grade.
3rd grade. This video isn't about convincing you to homeschool your kids versus send them. That's not what it's about. We're just playing all of the different factors into the entire picture. So you are 6th, 7th grade because you're ahead because you're homeschooled.
Yes.
And what age did you stop going to public school?
I believe I was 7, 8.
Okay, and around what grade do you know that is?
I ended 2nd grade in public school.
Okay, so you started homeschooling in 3rd grade.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same questions that I asked Libby. Okay, so as a 6th, 7th grader, what is your favorite thing about kindergartners?
I personally love how energetic they are and how they can bring up spirits.
That's good. I like that. Or bring them down if you're a teacher. No. Can we edit that out? Do you think there's anything that you can teach a kindergartner, something that you've now experienced that they should know?
Well, one thing when I was younger in public school, and if the teacher would ever ask a question or something, even when I was in kindergarten, I would know the answer, but I would be too afraid to raise my hand.
Oh, that's good.
Because I would be shy, and I
You?
feel like, yeah, I feel like people would make fun of me for being smart.
Okay, so you wouldn't raise your hand, you wouldn't answer.
No.
So your advice to the kindergartners, don't be afraid of being made fun of. Raise your hand if you know the answer.
Yeah, that happened a lot to me.
Okay, that's good. And what about in homeschool? Do you have to raise your hand?
No.
No? Do you feel a little less made fun of? Because you still get together with school kids once a week, you were telling me?
Yes, it's a co-op school that I go to on Fridays.
Okay, and what's the relationship like in that classroom with the other kids?
It's really cool because you all get to talk about the experience of being homeschooled, and you just get to do classes that you don't really get to, and you get to interact with people as you're being homeschooled. You're just home all the time.
Okay. So as a person in transition from 6th grade to 7th grade, I have a question to ask you. So 7 is an important year for adults in their marriages. Have you ever heard of the 7-year itch?
No.
I was hoping you'd say no. I don't think you know what that is. But I talk about it in my book and I compare it to 7th grade. So 7th grade is the very middle of middle school because middle school starts in 6th grade. So you've got 6, 7, 8, and then you move on to high school. So as a 7th grader, there could be a lot of pressures that you, luckily enough, will not have to experience because you just happen to be doing school at home. But in the school at 7th grade, you get to this point where you feel literally in the middle because you're not the fresh meat in the school anymore as a 6th grader, but you're also not the big tough 8th graders that are getting ready to go to high school. And there is a lot of changes that start to happen in your body chemistry, in your mind. Maybe that's a time where you start to have trouble with your grades and trying to find yourself, figure out who you are and what direction you want to go. So homeschool makes a big difference, and I believe in a marriage there is a type of shadow to homeschooling, and you'll have to get the book to get into that. But for my next question, what would you tell your kindergarten self if you could give her advice? And it can't be the same answer as your last question.
I was definitely afraid to talk to people. So my teachers, they would always tell me to go interact with other people,
Mhm.
but I never really did that. I would just play by myself,
Mhm.
like in a sandbox or with Legos. So I would encourage myself to meet new people and not be so shy.
Okay. So do you think naturally you're an introvert? Do you know what that word means?
No.
So an introvert is someone who tends to keep to themselves. They don't necessarily have to be a lonely person. It's not a negative, but they function and do well operating by themselves. Maybe they work in a cubicle or they work from home and they don't feel a lack of game because they're not around people all the time. Whereas an extrovert would be the person to host the party and talk and be around all the people, and maybe they are the project managers and the team leads. So maybe by nature you're an introvert, but I know you and you're really well-rounded. So you've learned how to come out of your shell,
Yeah.
but still be happy with who you are. And I think that's an awesome thing. Awesome. I'm excited because I know how all this relates to my book and what I'm about to tell my audience based on what you and Libby have said. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
And I'm going to talk to the adults now. Say bye.
Bye.